Hey, John. Hi, Robin. Hi, Pam. Hi, Bridget. Hi, Suzanne. Christine, welcome. Gosh, I was feeling real nervous. Now I feel great seeing all you guys. Shawnee, thank you for joining. Jamie, thank you for being here. I'm gonna wait because it's just 8 o'clock now. Cheryl, welcome. Debbie, Janice. Oh, you guys are so awesome. Can you guys hear the music? If not, I'm gonna put it up a little bit. Hey, Emily, sending lots of love and healing energy to Fernando. Glad you're joining me tonight. Hi, Raquel. Hi, Tiger. Welcome. Amanda, thanks for joining. Oh, do I, Jamie? Something happened this week. Chris, hi, welcome. I am so honored you are all popping on. Oh, thanks, Emily. Hold on, I'm getting a message. Where am I? My daughter just said, where are you? Well, I'm on my page. Hi, Connie, welcome. I have some amazing music by John Crowley playing in the background. There's Jersey, Alaska. And if you love this music, by all means, get in touch with John. It's an amazing CD. The music is amazing. And that's why I wanted to share with you. Monica, you made it. Thanks for joining. Oh my gosh, I'm still feeling a little nervous. Bridget, welcome. GM, so glad you're here. Oh my God, you guys. Allie, welcome. Lori, welcome. Great pictures from the Greats Christmas party. I'm so glad you could join me tonight. This is really like a big thing for me. And I've done public speaking stuff, and at the age of I think I was 14, I spoke at the Waldorf Astoria in front of President Gerald Ford, and I'm more nervous tonight than I was then. But I did make some notes, and I asked Spirit to please guide me, and whatever needs to be shared tonight, that somebody hears a message they need to hear. You had so much. Oh, thank you, Shawnee. Just breathe. I am. It's amazing, the love and the energy I'm feeling in this room. Hi, Debbie, welcome. Thanks so much for joining. I'm ready to do this, Raquel. I was meant to do this. Thanks, Allie. I do. And once I get going, I hope I'm not rambling on. I kind of broke down my journey in my life. I promise you I'm not going to take you through all 60 years. But my life has truly been an amazing, amazing journey. And I'm thankful for everything I've been through, because it's brought me to where I am today, sitting here with all of you. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. I hope everybody's ready for Christmas. I'm not. I don't know why, but we seem to always do things at the last minute, and It always gets done, so I'm not even stressed over it. Thank you everybody for popping on. I don't see my husband yet. Where is he? Fallon, you want to text him? Christy, welcome. Thanks so much for being here tonight. I've been drinking lots and lots of water, so I'll probably be chugging water while I'm talking to you guys tonight. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. I want to thank each and every one of you. Hi, Ryan. Welcome. I want to thank each and every one of you because each and every one of you have come into my life for a reason. Oh, did you see it? My daughter said I'll be home Saturday to sleep all day. Oh, no. Fallon's coming home for Christmas, and Fallon's played a big part in my journey, whether she realizes it or not. Hey, guys, and I have the tissues because you know me. I get emotional. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to give it just a few more minutes, guys. Cindy, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Oh, the energy is amazing in here. There's so much love. My heart is just bursting. I can't even explain. I hope you can feel it because I want you all to feel it. It is. I love you, Tim. Tim is my oldest child, and I won't tell you how old he is. But I'll share a little bit. Yeah, it is a pretty big closet because I'm not little, so. For those of you who don't know, this is our office, and I decided I needed a place where I can shut the door and be by myself. And when the door is closed, everybody knows, don't come in here. And it's really been amazing sitting here. I got my dad right here. My angels are here. Okay, I'm gonna give a few more seconds here. Oh, Shawnee. Shawnee just said you have no idea how much you impact the world. Hearts and likes for you. Thank you so much. You don't know. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. And I truly, after 60 years, found out what my life purpose is. And there's no greater feeling than knowing what you were brought here to do. So yes, as I said in my invitation, my invites, I'm coming out of the closet. John got a little upset. He's going to go, they're going to think you're a lesbian, or you better tell them. You better let them know. Well, no, I'm not. But I will tell you why, because you really don't know who I am. There are some of you here tonight that do know who I am and have been on my journey for the last 2 years. There's some of you who are on here that I've met through family. Some of you, our kids were little together. Hi, Lisa, welcome. So what I want to do is I'm going to try to keep it to an hour. Patrick, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to try to keep it, and excuse me if I belch, it's just energy moving because I'm finally letting it out and speaking my truth of who I am. So, let me see, okay, I'm not sure. John was going to come live. I mean, he's going to come on and then he wanted to come live. What he's going to say, I have no idea. Thank you, Lisa, for sharing it. So like I said, I hope I don't bore you. I want to share my story, my journey, my triumphs, my failures, my joys, my tears, my life with you, okay? Because, hi Terry, welcome. Everybody has a story, okay? So if I start rambling, just say, Patty, you're rambling, move on, okay? Because being from New York, we just want to keep going and going and going. Okay, thanks, Val. So I'll give it another minute. Thank you, everybody. You don't know how much this means to me that you are all here tonight. Melanie, thank you for joining, hon. Mwah. That's my niece. It really means a lot you're here. Okay, is the music okay, guys? Is it too loud? Can you hear it? Just let me know because I can't tell. Hi, Kat. Welcome. Oh, awesome. I didn't think Mom was going to be able to make it. Hi, Kelly. Kelly is my younger sister. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Christy. Someone's not hearing, someone's saying it's perfect. Okay, I guess if you meant to hear, you will hear the music. If not, sorry. The music I am playing. Hi, honey. There he is. I was waiting for you to start. You're late. That's a pet peeve of his. Emily's here, honey. Tim's here. Kelly's here. Everybody's here. So the music I am playing is from John Crowley. Look him up on Facebook. Good. It's supposed to relax you, Emily. It's supposed to just chill you. So John Crowley's amazing. He came out with this CD. It's called At Ease. And that's exactly what it does. Hi, Janita. Okay, so I'm going to try to go by my cards. Please bear with me. I'm sure the next time I tell my story, it'll be different than this. Hi, Amanda. Welcome, sweetie. Oh my gosh, Aunt Con has been with me all week. Okay, so let me begin. Everybody ready? Okay. How can my story spark inspiration, gratitude, hope, joy, and love in each of you? And guys, I'm sorry if I don't say hello. Fallon, if you want to say hello to everybody, Fallon is here. She always forgets me, bitch. That's what I do. Fallon, you can say hello to everybody so I can just keep going. I am just like each and every one of you who are joining or will watch this replay. I hope you will stay and listen as I share my story. Who am I? You are here for a reason, although you may not understand why, but trust me, you are. From the depths of my heart and soul, during this crazy time of year, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. It really means the world to me. Everything we've been through in our life has happened for a reason. Although we don't understand it at times, but it's not until later on down the road can we look back and see what lessons we've learned. We are all beautiful souls living in a human body, learning life's lessons, and it's not until our final breath will we ever stop learning life's lessons. However, once our body dies, our soul lives on forever. And no matter who it is you believe in, we were promised eternal life, okay? Although the body dies, we will still live on. Who am I? I'm a daughter, a granddaughter, a niece, a sister, a friend, a wife, a mother, an aunt, a grandmother, a great-grandma, and yes, I am a great-grandma, an artist, and a cancer survivor. Although those are all titles, and we all have them. A little bit about my childhood. I grew up, I was the oldest of 4 siblings. I was raised in a middle-class family. My dad was an alcoholic and worked for the New York Phone Company. My mom was a stay-at-home mom who always was sick when we were growing up. Lots of surgeries and stuff. However, that was normal. That was my life, and I didn't think it was any different than anybody else's life. I remember my grandparents hiring help to help with the daily things around the house that my mom couldn't do while my dad was working. I was really upset, and I remember their names. Geneva was let go. And the reason Geneva was let go is because all she did was sit and make us girls Barbie doll clothes. So I thought she was awesome. And then we had another one, Zeta, and she was from the South, and taught me and showed us girls. I don't know if my sisters remember, but she taught us how to make the best fried chicken. I had an amazing childhood. I wouldn't change who my parents are, my siblings are. Hi, Mom. I truly was honored to be part of this family. I was also raised Roman Catholic. So as I talk tonight, I'll talk about the Trinity, which is the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Although there are things I don't agree with anymore with organized religion, it's my spirituality and those 3 people, along with the Virgin Mary, who have been very present in my life and my journey. I was given the gift of creativity. I've been creative since I was a very little girl. And there's one thing that impacted me my whole life. And my dad would say, I can be given a pile of garbage and create beauty from it. And you know what? He was right, because I have been creating beauty my whole life. My school years were very normal. I went to Catholic school. I knew I was a little bit different. I didn't have many friends. I wasn't in a popular group or the outside group. Hi, Billy, welcome. But I did have one very dear friend. And to this day, over 50 years, Arlene and I are still friends. And tomorrow she celebrates her 40th wedding anniversary. I don't understand that, how we're getting old. In the late 70s, I was in my 20s, and I knew my future mother-in-law before I knew my first husband. I used to hang out at a neighbor's house and we would crochet. And she said, I have somebody for you to meet. And it was her son. Well, we met and we fell in love. We had kids and we lived paycheck to paycheck because I was a stay-at-home mom. I would do creative things or jobs or sell stuff just to bring in extra money. In 1993, I started traveling around the country doing craft shows. Excuse me, hold on a minute, guys. Welcome everybody who's just joining. And what I did was I could never work for anybody. I knew that was not in my life's path or my journey because I was a free spirit. So what I did living close to New York City is, as they call it, pound the pavements. And I used to go to the bridal shops and buy their garbage. Now here I am in my 20s or late 20s asking, can I buy your garbage? And what I would do is I would cut out the lace and package it and sell it to people to put on white t-shirts to make beautiful t-shirts. So I traveled a lot of 93, and it was during that time that my husband Andrew got a DUI with my daughter in the car. Little did I realize that I had married an alcoholic. And Andrew was a functioning alcoholic. He would come home every night from work. He supported his family. He loved us. And he would drink a 6-pack of beer every night, maybe a 6-pack and a half. And my kids growing up knew 1 up and 1 out, which meant take 1 from the refrigerator, put it in the freezer, take the 1 out from the freezer, because he loved his beer really cold. So that June while we were away, he did get a DUI with my daughter in the car. From that day on, he never had another drink. However, 2 years from that day, I lost Andrew. Andrew went to the doctor for a cold and died 8 weeks later of lung cancer. Oh gosh, I can feel him here with me. Okay, that day, that morning, I'll never forget it. It was a beautiful June morning. And I was journaling at that time while Andrew was sick. And I asked God to please take him home. Because what better way for an amazing man than to go home on Father's Day? And that night, Andrew passed away. And as he was laying there in bed with my son and I, whoops. Hold on, guys, sorry. As he took his last breath, I actually turned around and looked behind me. I felt his spirit go through me, filling me with so much peace and love, something I have never felt again. It was during that time that I lost Andrew. After that, now I have 2 kids. I was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't know how I was going to do it. But I always listened to that voice inside of me. And I started believing in working with angels. And they got me through it. I let people know when I was having a rough day. I let them know when I was having a good day. I always spoke what was in my heart and what was true. Sorry, guys. So if you think about what major life events changed you, we've all been through this. Also during that time, I did more journaling and automatic writing. And I heard, wait until you hear this, I kept hearing this little voice, take a chair and your journal to the cemetery. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I am not gonna sit on a chair and sit there and journal. Well, you know what? I should have, because I had a dress on and I was sitting on his grave in the grass getting very itchy. I should have had a chair. And I just kept writing and writing and writing, and I had no idea what I was writing. But what I was writing was a message from Andrew. And it was amazing. And everybody I read it to said, oh my gosh, Patti, that's him talking. He would only say those things. Also, during that time, my career started picking up. I was on TV a lot. I did home shopping. I did Lifetime TV when the craft shows were big. QVC. I did the Today Show weekend in New York. I was published in magazines. I won a Telly Award, which is for outstanding recognition for non-cable, non-network TV. And you know what? People would go, oh, that's amazing, that's amazing. but it was okay. That was what I was meant to do. Okay? It fulfilled me in a way of sharing a gift of creativity with everybody. In 1997, that was 2 years after Andrew passed, I continued, I think I may have skipped some stuff. Okay, yeah, I did. During that time after Andrew passed, I get a phone call from the police department. My son was arrested for having drugs at school. Okay, well now he probably would have served some time, but why was I going through this? Why, as a single mom by myself, was I going through this? But there was a reason, because it's things I've learned along my journey. So back in 1997, I continued to work with the angels to get me through my grief process. And then slowly I put up a shelf, and I'd put my angels up on the shelf, and they'd sit there until I was having a rough day and come on down, I need some help. Put them back up on their shelf. And more they kept sitting on that shelf. In May of that year, and you're going to love this story. Hi, Debbie, welcome. My sisters kept saying I had no interest in dating. I didn't want any part of that. My sister said, you have to get online. Now, 1997, this was all new. People, chat rooms, Yahoo. So, I love this story. So I got in the chat room with my sister 5 doors away and my sister in South America and a few of their friends. And we're sitting there typing. And I said to them, I'm out of here. I'm going to find me a man. Be careful what you wish for. I left the chat room, looked at all the Yahoo rooms. I saw a pickup bar. Now, in real life, I never go into a pickup bar. Well, I went into the pickup bar and I saw Alaska John. I had an Oprah aha moment. Oprah had just done her show on bachelors in Alaska. Shortage of women, bachelors in Alaska, Alaska John, okay. So with that, hi Mike, with that, and thank you everybody who just came in. With that, I said, come on, let's go back to this chat room where my sisters are. Well, they nearly shit when I came back with this Alaska John. We went back and forth chatting. We both had our separate lives. 5.5, we met in July in Chicago. I had a trade show and he had a conference. 5.5 years from New Jersey to Alaska, we went back and forth. And there was definitely an angel in my computer that night when I was sent John, because not many people fall in love once in their life, but I fell in love twice in my life. So 5.5 years, that little voice inside of me, keep going, follow your heart, follow your heart. I was like, oh my God. I remember my family saying, what are you, crazy? He's he's never going to commit. He's never going to commit. But I knew in my heart and my gut that I needed to hang out and wait for this diamond. And finally, 5.5 years later, so we'd go back and forth and visit. My kids loved it when I left and went to Alaska because they threw parties in the house, and it was usually over New Year's, so there were great New Year's parties at my house. 5.5 years later, I decided, okay, what did he say? But he was so handsome. Yeah, I thought he was George Clooney. You're so cute, honey. So, I said, okay, I'm going to sell the house. So I was getting stuff ready and cleaning. And I don't know why, but this person rang my doorbell. I do know why, because it was all meant to be. rang my doorbell and said, "Do you know any condos for sale?" Excuse me? Yeah, my condo's going to be for sale. I ended up selling my condo to these persons who just rang my doorbell. So I told John I was selling my condo and I was moving to Alaska, and he about shit. He didn't know what he was in for. Because not only was he getting me, he was getting a 17-year-old daughter of mine. John raised 3 boys. John today has gray hair, and we call that color Fallon Gray. He loved it, though. Let's see. Okay, sold my house. I moved there in August. November, I was flying, the end of October, I was flying back to do QVC. And it turns out, John and I were laying in bed talking, and he goes, "Let me ask you a question. If we were to get married, would you lose your Social Security for your daughter?" Okay. I said, I lost that already. Once she turned a certain age, I was no longer getting that Social Security. So as soon as he said that, I was like, okay, let's go window shop for rings. So I did that by myself, and he did it by himself. And it turns out we picked out the same exact ring. So I'm sorry if I'm dragging, but okay, so now I have to go back to Pennsylvania to be on QVC. He goes into my email and tries to get my contact. He wants to send my ring FedEx and propose to me over the, being on TV. QVC said, no way. Every second you're on QVC, you have to be making the bucks. Okay, so there was no way they were going to let him do that. So we had gone food shopping, and I was leaving the next day, and we were bringing in the groceries, and then between the potatoes and the pork chops, there was a box, and there was my ring. So that's how John boo QVC. So that's how John proposed to me. We were married Thanksgiving weekend. We are still on our honeymoon. He is the most wonderful gift God has given me. What was amazing is when I married John, I gained 3 amazing stepsons, 2 grandchildren, and what really shocked me was when I got an AARP card way before my time, because John is 9 years older than me. Okay, so that was the shocker when I got the AARP. Meat, taters, and diamonds. Yep, what better way, Tim? Okay, so now Fallon, being in not good relationships, decided, I had no idea who she was talking to, decided she was getting married. You're getting what? She knew this guy for 2 months. She was getting married, got married, left and moved to Fayetteville. He was an Army guy. And of course, in the eyes of a retired Air Force officer, Air Force was much better than Army. No offense, I love everybody who serves our country, but this is coming from an Air Force guy. So Fallon did get married. We had an empty nest, I think, for 4 days. And we were watching Ronald Reagan's funeral. It was a Friday. I will never forget this. We get a phone call from the doctor. John was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Here I am, sitting there going, how can I be going through this? Why would God take my first husband and then give my second husband cancer? This blew my mind. But I have to say, he had a fabulous doctor. All of it's been removed, and we've never had a problem, because I put my faith and trust in my spiritual team to make that happen for me. So, you know, you think about it and you reflect back on your life and you think, well, where was I? And probably there's a lot of you who are really young when Kennedy was shot. Where were you when they walked on the moon? Where were you when, and you remember these things when the space shuttle blew up. You know, you remember those things in your life where you are. And I will never forget that phone call that came in during Ronald Reagan's funeral. Let me see. Sorry, guys. I hope I'm not boring you. Next 3 years were great. No major things going on. Living our happy life up in Alaska. However, I didn't really know what was going on. And then I started to hear that little voice inside of me knowing something was really wrong. And that was with my daughter. She was drinking heavily, and she was not a nice person because it wasn't her. And, you know, it really affected us. It really affected us when you have somebody sick with addiction in your family, and both my children deal with addictions. And it's when they're sick, the whole family becomes sick. Okay, I'll never forget the night Fallon was out drinking. Hi, Mandy, welcome. And I get a call from Providence Hospital. Fallon has given me permission to share this. Hi, Robin, welcome. They wanted to know I had tough love, okay? Hardest thing a parent will ever do is tough love. They called me, it was probably below 0 out. Can your daughter please come home for one night? I think she broke her ankle and she could tell you this. Hi, Steph. Nope, sorry. Hung up the phone and I cried my eyes out. They called again. I said, no, I'm sorry, I just can't. I hope you understand. I believe she ended up sleeping in a homeless shelter that night. And it was rough. It was rough. Then Fallon in 2009, John and I kind of foresee what was happening, and that little voice inside me said, there's gonna be a baby. Sure enough, and I will be the first to admit this, Fallon calls me and tells me she's pregnant. And my response, my immediate response, knowing the path she was going, was, well, we need to take care of this. And that was something Fallon couldn't do. And my God, living with my spirit's definitely here. I don't know if you guys see, but my lights are really playing games. Jalen is the most beautiful, spirited child who is truly gifted you will ever want to meet. Okay? So, and she's lived with us since she was born. Also, during that time, I always had businesses. I learned lampwork beads. I set up a studio, never did it in my life. I built a very successful, thank you, Tim. I built a very successful bead business. My work was sold in galleries. I sold it at markets. People who come to Alaska want to buy things from Alaskan artists. I won ribbons for my work. My work is owned by people worldwide. And you know what? That brought me so much joy. Oh, come here. Just say hello to everybody. She must have heard I was talking about her. Give me a kiss. Okay, go. Close the door. I love you. She must have heard I was talking about her. Okay, so, you know, it's very rewarding because I kept that gift of creativity going. Um, October of 2009, I launched, okay, the market started getting flooded. And being an entrepreneur my whole life, I knew what was happening in the market before it happened. So I was always ahead of the game. In 2009, high step, I launched a needle felting business. And it was my most successful business I've ever had. And it's almost 10 years I've had that business, and that's changing now. But that was an amazing journey with that business. Um, what was good about it, I was no longer doing production work because when you're an artist, you need to do production. You have to keep producing and producing and producing. And I was getting burnt out and tired by that, but now I was selling a product that was consumable. It was a top-notch product. My customers kept coming back because once they used it, they wanted more. And that is how Pam and I met. Um, okay. So I launched the business October 2009. December of 2009, they saw a calcification in my stomach. And my phone's blowing up here. And I had surgery. It's supposed to be an hour surgery. I think I went in at 11:30. I woke up in recovery. I looked at the clock. It was 5:30 at night. I said, oh, something's not right. So I was wheeled back up to my room. Fallon and John were in the hallway. And I said, what's going on? The both of them were standing there looking at me. They both immediately turned their back at me. I knew right away something was not right. I was diagnosed with cancer, a very rare cancer. It's carcinoid cancer. It goes undetected for many years as irritable bowel syndrome. So here I am, but let me tell you, when I was diagnosed with it, never once did I ever say, why me? Never did I once say, this is gonna win. I just knew in that little voice inside me, it was gonna be okay. However, all my family and friends didn't see that, but I knew that. So there was no doctor in Alaska who could treat me. So being from New York, we decided, okay, we're going back to Sloan Kettering. Sloan Kettering's the best hospital in New York for cancer. Well, we went there. That's right, Callie, zebra hooves. And we went back to Sloan Kettering, and I saw the doctor, and she told us, no doctor in the world will touch you. And I had a small tumor in my mesentery, which is right in your gut, that was intertwined with all my arteries. So the reason my original surgery took so long is they were calling doctors from their office to come in and see if they could take care of it. Okay? So now they can't take care of it. The doctor in New York says, oh, no doctor in the world's going to touch you. But I have an amazing sister who should be a research expert. She finds this Dr. Waltring in New Orleans. Meanwhile, the guy who did the operation said, well, there's a doctor in New Orleans. He could probably take care of it. And I was like, oh, no, I'm going back to New York. So we ended up going to New Orleans, and I went and saw them, and they said, oh, that little thing? What a relief, because and it was very painful. So I knew it was going to be okay because of that little voice inside of me. So we went back to Alaska, and then when I was diagnosed in the hospital, okay, Like I said, I didn't say, why me? I didn't say, no, this is going to get me. I said, how can my children hear that their only living parent now has cancer? That blew me away. And then I looked at that 5-month-old baby at the end of my bed, sitting on Grandpa's lap, and I said, that's my reason for living, because I knew she was going to need me, because that little voice inside of us, and we all have it. So, I hope I'm not boring you guys. I did go back to New Orleans, and I had the surgery. I was gone for 21 days. John and I went. It was an 8-hour surgery, and I cannot imagine what it was like for John to sit there for 8 hours waiting for the doctor to come out. He hugged and kissed that doctor and jumped up and down, he told me. It was amazing. So we stayed at Hope Lodge, which is run by the Cancer Society, and John loves to shop. Well, a few days after that big surgery, once I was released, he found a wheelchair, and we were going through Macy's. And we stayed there until I was able to travel home. Chemo does not work with this kind of surgery, cancer. Radiation does not work with this. I am on a pump similar to what a diabetic would be on, and that controls carcinoid syndrome, which I still have. However, there's no evidence or tumors. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. PET scans don't work in finding it. So I am very fortunate. I will outlive this cancer. This cancer is not going to get me. So, let me just see. Okay. Sorry, guys. See, I'm not even following my cards here. Oh, my goodness. Where am I? Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay. After the surgery and stuff, we decided we were going to move. John was looking at different jobs. He was retired from the Air Force. He was retired from the city of Anchorage. So we were looking for a third retirement. Why not? So at that time, John did find a job, and we ended up moving to Florida. Fallon went off to a rehab up in Connecticut. I had a 2-year-old that I was taking care of, packing up a house while John was down here in Florida. Growing up, I remember saying, I will never live in Florida. Well, guess what? I live in Florida. And I do love it. I love living in Alaska, but I do love the sunshine. Although I don't go out often, I'm a homebody, but I do love Florida. Yeah, it took over a year. We were still dealing with Fallon with her addictions. Now my son Chris, he stayed in Jersey, so that's why I'm not talking too much about him, because he really wasn't in the nucleus of the family at that point while we're going through all this stuff. Okay, 2014. Fallon decides she met a guy online. Well, what else is new? What could I say? I met John online. She decides she's going about an hour and a half away. And then Fallon didn't take a deep breath, Fal, because you are an amazing person. I knew that little voice inside of me was saying something. Oh, she didn't meet him online. Well, that was a switch. Something wasn't right. I woke up the next morning. Fallon wasn't home. 8 o'clock that morning, I get a call. My dad had a stroke. Now, mind you, I had just spoken to my dad before. He was so excited Jalen and I were coming to visit. She was starting kindergarten. He bought her a book. She spoke to Jalen. 8 o'clock in that morning, we get a call from my brother. Dad had a stroke, and it's not good. So, of course, I started pacing. Okay, Fallon's not home. Dad had a stroke. I gotta go. I mean, I had a Fitbit. I must have did 10 miles in a small area of my house. An hour later, I get a call. You have a collect call from such and such correction facility. What? Fallon got her third DUI. Here, I left her in jail while I went up to say my final goodbyes to my dad. And then my son was still living in Alaska. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do, but I needed to go where I needed to be. I couldn't worry about Fallon, okay? I needed to go be with my family. A few days later, Dad did pass away. It was, anybody who has fibromyalgia, because I have that also, there were days during that period that we were back in New York, I couldn't get out of bed. My body hurt so bad. Although John was there and he was taking care of Jalen, I felt so alone because I didn't have my children with me. And I had to do that to Fallon. But I heard, you're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing. Just do what you have to do. And I did. Sorry, guy. Probably, besides losing Andrew, the hardest thing is losing a parent. You know what? In the beginning, when I lost Andrew, yeah, I missed him, but then I kind of felt him. My dad is with me more than when he was alive. I can tell when he's here. He messes with things in my house. I can feel him and I can hear him. And my mom will be here and I'll just say, listen, Daddy just said, and I'll say it exactly like he says it. So that was really hard for me. 2000, I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. Thanks for being so patient. 2015, 16, I took an online course. And it was Soul Art Day. And it was a whole day dedicated, and I told my whole family, just leave me alone. I'm creating art. I don't know what this is. I'm going to participate and see what happens. It was a worldwide event where you really look deep within yourself and create art. This opened my heart and soul so big that something was changing inside of me, and I didn't know how to explain it. We were still dealing with addiction because Fallon, I think, was living home then. And again, when you have an addict or an alcoholic who's sick, everybody is sick. And if there was an Olympics for this event, John and I would have stood in the podium and got the biggest gold medal for enabling her for many years. And there was a reason we did that, because we needed to learn. Going back, Fallon, don't get me a gold medal for Christmas. I'm telling you that right now. Because everything we go through in our life, good, bad, whatever, happens for a reason. Everybody that has come into your life has come there to teach you something. Okay? I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. So inside of me, something was changing. I knew my business was not going to continue as a felting business. I knew I had something inside of me that I needed to share. Absolutely, Tim. Everything. I knew I needed, again, I saw things changing. The market's getting flooded with needle felter suppliers. I need to go in another direction. So I started looking inward, inside me, and my gifts I have been given. In 2017, Fallon was in and out, back and forth. Terrible, terrible relationship. And that time I also went back in June to one of my best friends, and I have only a handful of best friends, to my girlfriend's son's wedding. And at that time, we made plans to meet my Aunt Pat, for, I believe it was lunch. My father only had a sister. My mom had no siblings. I had no first cousins, but my dad had lots of cousins. So she was my only aunt. And we sat there talking, and I must have been telling her my journey. And she goes, Patty. And she thinks I'm a little crazy anyhow, but that's okay. She goes, Patty, I didn't know you were that spiritual. And I said, yeah, I am. I said, I have a hard time with the Catholic Church because that's the way I was raised. And believe me, I am thankful for that. So she goes, what's the matter with it? It's too structured. Well, Aunt Pat is a nun. She is a sister of the Presentation Sisters. And she became a nun, I believe it was 9 days before I was born. I was given her name, Patricia Jean Morrison. Well, after she said that to me, I was like, bing! This light bulb went off on top of my head and said, that's why I was named after her. She dedicated her life to God and did service. That's what I'm meant to do. So that was amazing that light bulb just went off. So August, that was June. August, I get a call from Alaska from a number I didn't know. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Excuse me. I get a call from Alaska from a number I didn't know. Hi, this is Melissa. I'm a friend of Chris. Chris is my son. Chris went into cardiac arrest. Chris is in his 30s. He's going to be 39 next year. We are over 4,000 miles away. This stranger on the other phone is telling me my son went into cardiac arrest. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So she hung up, told me they got him. They got him back. His heart's going okay. She texted me again. He went down again. I was like, no, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. How can this be happening? Chris went into cardiac arrest 6 times and was brought back 6 times. There's a reason. There's a reason. I don't think he knows yet, but God has great plans for him. Anybody that age who's down into cardiac arrest 6 times, being so far away was the worst feeling in the world. So John and I flew up like the next day. He's doing great. Chris has left Alaska. Him and his girlfriend now live with us because, like I said, we will never have an empty nest. We're trying to help them so they can get out on their own. Both him and his girlfriend are in the program, over a year sobriety. So if it wasn't for me growing up with an alcoholic dad, I would never understand what I was dealing with. Okay? During that time, it was really bad. Fallon wasn't here. Didn't know what she was doing, whatever. I began praying, or if you want to call it meditating. Everybody has their own word for it. What I did was a meditation, and I cut cords with my daughter. Probably the hardest thing I've ever done. But I asked God to take it away from me, that worry, what was consuming my thoughts, because I had this beautiful little girl that I wanted to make everything perfect for her. I did that, and this peace, harmony, tranquility came over me like something I have never felt before. And that little voice inside me said, it's gonna be okay. Okay, because we all have that little voice. Once I did that, it was truly amazing. I began my spiritual journey, and a lot of you here have watched me on that spiritual journey. I was mentored by Dean Adams of Move to Heal, and I always knew I was intuitive. I always knew God gave me that voice, and sometimes that voice is louder than you want it to be, okay? Because your spiritual team, we all have a higher self, okay? We all have something that is bigger and greater than us. And it doesn't matter what you call it. If you call it the divine, if you call it source, if you call it Jesus, it doesn't matter. But we were given a gift of our spirit, our soul that's inside of us, that little voice. And it's whether we were also given free will, and it's whether we listen to that voice or not. But what happens is when you listen to that voice, amazing things happen in your life. Things you never imagined were possible. Things that you dreamed of start coming true. Because we were created, I was created in God's image. Okay? He spread love and joy to everyone. When you live in a place like that, it's amazing. And stay with me because I'm not done where I'm going yet. Okay? When you're in a spiritual journey, you work really hard. Oh, it's very hard work. You have to learn. I was always, I can't meditate. What are you kidding me? I can't pray. My mind doesn't shut up. I'm like, ADD, whatever it is, anal, compulsive, retentive, whatever you want to call me. I can't quiet the mind. Well, you know what? Yes, you can. If I can do it, you can do it. Because it's practice. It's the more you do it, you can quiet the mind to hear that voice even stronger. So I worked on that. I also had to heal that little inner child in me, because there were things in my childhood that I thought, it's normal, it's okay. Doesn't everybody's life like that? But I was hurt inside. And when I learned to heal from those things, my heart just keeps opening and opening. Okay? I also continued to write in my journal. I would hear messages, and I was like, okay, where's this come from? So I would just write, not know what I was writing, until I was done and went back and read it. It's called automatic writing. I'm trying to think, guys, sorry. It's been a long, but you know what? I can't say long, because my spiritual journey has been my whole life. Every single thing I have gone through has been a life lesson and has gotten me to where I am right now. Okay? 2018. Here we are, guys. This past year. Well, you know what? It's been an amazing year. And let me tell you the shit we've been through. February of 2018, we had my daughter removed from my house. Okay? A blessing in disguise, little did we know. 10 days later, John gets up and he goes, I don't know, babe. I got a feeling here and it's not going away. Let me just sit here a minute and see if it goes away. Pain in his chest wasn't going away. He goes, I think we better go to the hospital. And he's cracking jokes, because that's the way John is. And he's cracking jokes. We get to the hospital. John's having a heart attack. Okay. All right, God, we got this. We got this. We know we're going to get through this. They rush into the hospital. They did a catheterization. John had 100% blockage in one artery, 80% in another, and I don't even know what the third one was. The next day, John was taken in for triple bypass surgery. Never once did I doubt that I was going to lose him, because I heard that little voice say, it's going to be okay. Just hang in there. It's going to be okay. You're going to get through this. Look at all the other shit you've been through. So we get through that. Let's see. This is Jalen's first, because we didn't have contact with Fallon, it's Jalen's first birthday without her mom. We want to make it special. We planned, I manifested, and let me tell you, you can manifest a lot in your life. I took them away for a week. We went to the West Coast to Dunedin. And before we left, John gets all these spots, and it's always, a little bit of skincare, and so they take care of it. He had one on his eye, very close to his eye. And we get a call on Monday morning. We need to get into the eye doctor's office ASAP. We're leaving Wednesday for vacation. They wanted us to cancel vacation because John had a melanoma that they were very, very concerned about. Okay, here we go. What round is this? So we go there, and the office manager is crying. You're absolutely right, Tim. John and I talked about it. What was a few days going to matter? We were going to take Jalen away for her birthday and John's birthday. They're 2 days apart. What are you doing out there? Okay. So they said, no, this is really serious. You really need to do this. So we decided we were going to wait a few days. Well, he goes in for the second surgery, and still not looking good. They said, well, the preliminary reports come back, and it's not good. We didn't get clean margins. I was like, oh my gosh. So then, yes, she's going to bed, Mom. Then, right before we go into surgery, the doctor comes in and tells us they got all of it. We do have clean margins. So they went in and just repaired it. Okay, great. We've got heart attack under our belt. We have skin cancer done with. And then, August 8th, we will never forget it, Mom's birthday. John was out walking both our dogs. Now we have Maltese, so they're small. Well, they decided to wrap around John's leg. My neighbor comes to my door, opens the door, lets the dogs in, and said, "Patty, John fell." I was like, "What?" I'm sorry, I'm laughing now, but John fell and broke his hip. You gotta be kidding me. How could this possibly be happening? But you know what? It all happened for a reason. Because 10 years from now, if John went through all this, he probably wouldn't be here. But because, I wouldn't say he's in good shape, but let him think he is, he was strong enough to deal with all this. So that was a trip and a half, him in a nursing home for 4 weeks. But he was a champ. He did it. As long as we brought him Chick-fil-A, that man was happy. So 2018 has been an amazing year. During the cancer and the shingles, I had knee surgery, torn meniscus, okay. 2 days before John broke his hip, I get shingles. Okay, we'll just go with the flow. We'll sit back and watch all this happen. But you know what? We were okay. We knew it was going to be okay. And where I'm getting with all this is we all need to listen to that inner voice inside of us. It is a gift given to us. Absolutely, Emily, absolutely. Remember I was telling you I kept my angels on a shelf? That shelf is down, and I've been working with my angels. I have a spiritual team, and whether you believe it or not, we all do. I have God at the top. And then I have Mother Mary, who I also pray to. And let me tell you, if you've never come close to that woman, her love is something you have never felt in your life. It's amazing. We also have our angels. There's the archangels. When you want protection, you call them in. They'll protect you. They're waiting. They just sit around in their lounge chairs waiting for you to say, "I need help." And they're there. If you don't ask them, they're not going to help. Okay? We also have our guardian angels. They've been with us, my poor angels. Sometimes I think I got to tell you a funny story. But our guardian angels have always been with us. Do you ever see a flash of light and like you turn quick? Well, I was seeing that a lot during the year, a lot. Then I finally said to them, okay, you need to cool it because you know what? I'm going to get whiplash if you keep this up, okay? So, well, you know what? They've stopped doing that to me. We also have our spirit guides. And those are our guides who guide us in things we go through in life. Okay? Some of us have been with us many lifetimes. I have truly opened to the gifts God has given me. And it's tonight where I said I wanted to come out of the closet because you don't know who I am. I am a beautiful gift from God given to this planet to walk this earth and share my love and light with each and every one of you. It doesn't matter where we come from, where we've been, if you listen to that little voice inside, amazing things happen. I'm not done yet. I've always been intuitive. I always just know things. My spiritual team gave me one day I heard that little voice, remember that little voice inside of us? I heard text messages from heaven. What? Text messages from heaven. Okay. I look up in the sky, and cut out of all the clouds is a heart. Okay, that's a sign if you ask me. Next day, just this one cloud up there, a heart. There's no such things as coincidences in our life. John's driving home and he goes, "You are not going to believe it." I said, "What?" This poor guy putting up with me as I trip. He says, "I had to stop counting. I cannot tell you how many carts were in the sky." Okay? I was being sent a message. Text messages from heaven. I have gotten beautiful writings from a higher place. I have a website that's text messages from heaven. I also send messages to people, text messages from heaven. It's almost like an angel horoscope, but it's a message. Because when you can quiet your mind and sit quietly, that voice gets louder. My greatest gift, and I'm going to tell you this because this is really who I am. She is very intuitive. Heck, I thought she was a quack. I love you, honey. Yeah, he really did. When you listen, you hear things, okay? It's your mind's eye. It's right here. Some refer to it as the third eye. It's your mind. Thoughts will pop into your head, and you're like, oh, where'd that come from? Okay? This week, something's been holding me back. I have a gift, and I don't like the words psychic or medium. It's probably because I was raised Roman Catholic. So I was praying the other day, and I said, "Please give me another name." And they said to me, "You're an intuitive messenger." I have been receiving messages from past loved ones who are on the other side. That's how close our loved ones are. They're sitting right next to you. And when you open your heart and calm your mind and trust in the Holy Spirit or whoever it is you believe in, they will give you messages. And every time I get a message from a past loved one, I run out and I say, "I can't make this shit up. I can't. How could this be? How do I know this?" Because I trusted in that inner voice inside of me. And let me tell you, there is nothing greater and fills my heart than being able to deliver a message from a past loved one. There is nothing greater. And I truly feel that this is part of my life purpose. Whether you believe it or not, but you guys know me. And those who are relatives of me, I am always upbeat. I am always happy. We all have that voice. You can't tell me you don't get a gut feeling. You can't. Everybody has this gift. And that's what I want people to understand. I'm not anything special. I'm just like each and every one of you. If I can do it, you can do it also. And that's who I am. I am an intuitive messenger bringing messages from your loved ones to you. Now, I'll tell you, it's a scary thing, okay? Because you think, okay, it's really not. I'm not hearing this. I'm really not hearing this. This must be my mind making this shit up. When you let go, yes, you are very special. Oh, thank you, honey. When you let go of fear and put your trust in God, the Father, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, whoever it is, Buddha, the divine, the white light, whoever it is, you will hear them. You will hear them. It's not your mind making up shit. It's your spirit. It's your soul deep inside of you. And that's what we're here for. This world is a sick, crazy place. And if more of us could share the gifts we have, then that's what it's all about. Because you know what? Our bodies are going to give out on us, and we're not going to be able to take the Coach bags or anything with us, but it's what we have in our soul and our heart that we're going to take on, because we were promised everlasting life. And there's a few things I did write down. Oh, sorry, guys. We all need, and guys, I'm going to go back later and read all this, and I want to share something with you because I shared a lot about Fallon tonight, because I really need to thank her for helping me dive deeper into my spiritual journey, because I had a child who was hurt and damaged and suppressed her hurt by addictions, who is now blossoming into the most beautiful flower I have ever seen. And I can't see through my tears. No need to thank me. No, because it's been a rough road for you, Fallon. Okay, this Thanksgiving, Fallon posted this, and I'm going to share it with you. Fallon's Thanksgiving Reflections 33. For those who don't know, 33 is the number for the Ascended Masters, Jesus. So he is here with us right now. Okay, and like I said in the beginning, you may not know why you're here tonight or why you're sitting and listening to me tell my story, but something is gonna stick in your heart. Okay, this is Fallon's writing. I've been reflecting a lot on the past year and all I have to be thankful for. I have overcome so much and changed into a person I barely recognize myself. A year ago, I was living in Ocala, addicted to drugs, not working, broken, defeated, depressed, and not knowing where or what I was going to do. I was in an emotionally abusive relationship. Over the past year, I was in jail twice, homeless, walking the streets, spun out, sleeping at bus stops, basically on the road to death. But through all of that, I found something that I've never had before, and that was myself. I am so grateful that today I live on my own. I work every day, getting up at 5 a.m., paying the rent. I walk with my head held high because I'm making it. I have my family back in my life. I have friends that truly care about me. And every day, I make the choice to be happy. There are times I feel stressed out, scared, and worried. But those times make the other times that much more sweeter. I am so grateful for everything in my life up to this point. I may not be where I want to be, but I am far from where I used to be. I am so thankful for everyone that hasn't left my side. Loved me when I was lovable, but more than anything, I am thankful for my struggles and blessings that have come from them. Nothing fills my heart more than to read this. Fallon, God has amazing plans for you. Trust me when I say that, okay? Because I'm hearing it. Trust me when I say that. So guys, my message, and I have an announcement to make also. I'm sorry I've been taking so long. I was going to try to keep it shorter. Live your authentic self. Let that person inside of you. You know, the reason I'm doing this on my personal page is because I have business pages I've been coming live on. My angels gave me beautiful deck of cards that I actually created myself. And I'd pull one, and that would be the one I'd work on. Well, tonight, before I sat down here, the card they gave, and I know it's backwards to you guys, is emergence. The angels are letting you know it's time to emerge and become your true, authentic self. We all need to become who we are inside and what that little voice is telling us. We can make a difference in somebody's life, even if it's just a smile. We don't know what other people have been through. Just a smile can make somebody's day. Be the presence of God. Be that loving person. We were created in His image. We can do all the things He has done. Okay? And like I said, the reason I'm coming out on my personal page is because I have 2 business pages here on Facebook. I have a few, but Forests of Love and Light is one of my pages. And the reason I have that page is because I became a certified tree reader. Now, I know you're going to say, tree reader, what the hell is that, Patti? It is like handwriting analysis. Because I wasn't trusting that little voice inside of me, I spent $500, took a course to read trees. And I have the certificate hanging on my wall. Okay. But then I started trusting that little voice inside of me. When I don't believe it's what I'm hearing is from my higher self, it means I'm letting my ego out. And you know what the ego stands for? Edging God out. And it's when you edge God out, you don't believe in that little voice that's inside of you. The meaning of life is for each and every one of you to find your gift and then give it away. And that's why I'm here tonight to share my story, 33, with each and every one of you. So, as you can imagine, I'm building a new business. I want to help people find who they truly are. I do offer some things for very nominal fees. I do channel messages from loved ones and your spiritual team, and you get it in writing. I do text messages from heaven, which comes when Spirit guides me to deliver that message to you. I do the tree readings where I give you a little rectangle and you draw your tree, and then I tell you about yourself from that. And that's all fact, okay? That's all fact. Just like handwriting analysis, that's what tree drawing is. I do angel readings from the cards I created because they were given to me from my spiritual team. I want to do spiritual coaching. If any of you want to get on this journey and you don't know where to start, please send me a message. By all means, nothing is greater than helping somebody else see and find what their life purpose is. Also, in 2019, I am going to launch an intuitive vision board online workshop, which will probably be a Saturday or Sunday, probably around 4 hours, and we will create vision boards for things we want to manifest in our lives. And looking at my vision board, everything I'm looking at has come to manifestation, because I believe that I've been given a gift. I believe we all have the inner voice of our soul that talks to us. Don't shut it out. Turn the volume up. I want to thank, one more thing. This Thursday night, I'm going to share the link here, is we are doing a gallery. A gallery is, if you've ever seen the Long Island Medium, when she goes into a whole room of people and does readings, okay? Janita is hosting it. Janita and Nikki we've been on our spiritual journey together and have watched each other grow. And when you think you know what Spirit wants you to do, they go and change it up on you. So it's a trip, okay? But this Thursday night, for only $10, I believe we only have 9 spots available. We're going to do an online gallery, and Nikki and I are going to channel messages from your loved ones. I would love for you to be a part of it. If you have any questions, or if anybody has any questions now, I'd be happy to answer them. I can't tell you how happy I am to see that my numbers of those listening to my story have stayed consistent. So you've all listened to me ramble on, but I hope in some way you have taken something I said tonight, that little seed that may be planted, and it can blossom and grow. Oh, Janita, Spirit is here, very powerful. You know what? If you ask your team to let you know how they're here, I used to get like heaviness in my chest. I'd acknowledge, thank you for being here. But now they send a vibration through my head, from right through my ears. And I'm like, okay, I know you're here. And everybody can do this. Everybody can do this. I know Pam's on here, and the other day I said to her, Pam, you're going to find a dime. Just know it's from your brother. Well, it wasn't 24 hours later, Pam sent me a picture, and she goes, what does a dime mean? This is freaking me out. She opened up a drawer, and there was a dime. And I told her the message was her brother was going to leave her a dime because he wanted to leave more money than her dad, and her dad leaves her pennies. And she said, that's exactly how they are. Today, while sitting outside, I called my Andrew's sister, and her husband who passed away came in. She just had a grandchild, and I heard him say, they need to buy the baby a train. So I called her and I said, has anybody bought the baby a train? Because you need to buy a choo-choo train from Tommy and put his name on the package. So truly believe that anybody can do this. Monica, I never worry about my vibrations. I protect myself and put myself in a bubble of nothing but divine white light. Okay? It's part of the journey. So these are things I've learned along the way. Okay? Anybody have any questions or anything? I can't thank you enough for being here tonight and letting me share who I am. And remember, I'm not a psychic medium. I'm an intuitive messenger. And that's what my spiritual team gave me. Oh, yes, Janita, thank you. Okay, guys, if you're going to join us Thursday night, wait until you meet Janita. Janita has the most incredible energy and healing energy you will ever feel. So Janita is going to do a healing energy Thursday night on our gallery. It's through Zoom. You just download it. It's free. We'll be able to see everybody. We'll be able to talk to you. We'll be able to deliver messages. Nikki and I will take turns. Now, a lot of times what happens with me is Spirit will give me all the information before I do the person reading. You know what I mean? And I have to tell you, I promise I'll let you go. I had a reading on Wednesday night, on the 11th. And this was from a world-renowned, she calls herself a psychic medium. And she told me, somebody just needs to push me off the cliff because I've got this. But something was holding me back, and it was fear. Okay? 12/12 at 12 noon, I took a rose quartz crystal. I have a pond behind my house. Crystals are God's gifts to us. He created them. Rose quartz is a crystal of love. I threw that crystal back in the pond to Mother Earth because our world is hurting. The floods, the storms, the winds, the earthquakes. Okay? I gave her back that crystal of love. And I asked God to let those ripples of fear move away from me so I can live my life purpose. And since then, holy shit, I'm like flying high. The energy, internet connection. Okay, guys. I'm sorry if I'm cutting out. I'm going to post the link. Red Streak Medicine is Janita's site. You can also go there. I know we only have a few spots available for Thursday nights. It's going to be 2 hours, 20 people only. You're not guaranteed a message, but by all means, we are going to try. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my story. I hope I didn't ramble on. I truly love, look at me, I truly love each and every one of you, and you have not seen the last of me. I love you all. Namaste until I see you again. Okay, we'll figure it out.